protecting the things you truly value.
Hi there, it's Thursday, the 20th of August, 2020. Hello and welcome to Joy News at 6 with me, Benis Abubeidulansa. Deaths, 101 new cases, 40,000 recoveries, 1,875 active cases, and a total case count of 43,000. COVID is real. Coming up this morning, NDC flag bearer John Mahama accuses government of failing to provide evidence of how it utilized state funds since assuming office.
When a leadership gets detached from the reality on the ground, then you have a problem. And that's exactly what's happening.
Details from the campaign trail as the two main presidential hopefuls continue to tour parts of the country. Today, Nagrat calls for a national probe into leakage of papers and list of examiners in this year's WASI. In business,
Finance Ministry seeks public input for 2021 budget preparation, which will just cover the first 3 months of next year. We have details coming up in 15 minutes.
Also, Minerals Income Investment Fund justifies decision to set up company to manage Ghana's gold royalties as an offshore company, as former President Mahama questions decision. We are live on Hits 103.9 FM, also on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. The details now. Let's start from the campaign trail. The two main presidential hopefuls continue their tour across the country. The NDC's John Mahama, in the fourth day of his tour of the Volta region, whilst President Akufo-Addo arrives in the central region after 2 days in the western region. First, former President John Mahama has been speaking about the economy on his visit to Ho late yesterday. He's been accusing government of losing touch with reality.
When a leadership gets detached from the reality on the ground, then you have a problem. And that's exactly what's happening. In the 4 years I served as president of this country, I added 54 billion Ghana cedis to the public debt. But Toby, that 54 billion, if you look over all this country, you will see evidence of what the 54 billion was used to do. Unfortunately, this has been the history of this government. It has been a government of consumption. So if you look at investment in the real sector, compared to the previous 4 years before this administration came, we are struggling to even make 3% investment in the real sector.
Former President John Dramani Mahama, President Akufo-Addo wrapped up his visit to the Western region with a sword cutting for the construction of a $60 million waste treatment plant. The project is in collaboration with the Jospon Group of companies.
It is expected that the plant will receive, sort and process 400 tons of solid waste and treat some 100,000 cubic meters of wastewater, which will in turn serve up to 2 million people in the municipality and the Western region. The construction of this plant is in line with government's policy to create the enabling environment for the private sector to partner government to bridge the infrastructure gap in sanitation.
Well, the president heads to the central region today, from where correspondent Richard Kojonyako joins us. Richard, what will the president be doing in your region?
In fact, the president is already in town and would commence a 3-day tour by cutting a sword at Elmina for a landing beach site this morning. He would also inspect ongoing projects on the Chifu Praso Bridge and the district hospital as well. 2 of the one district, one factory project, the Kunfi Fruit and Juice Factory, Casa Dropa, would be commissioned by the president during his tour, with the main highlight being on Saturday, where the NPP would launch their 2020 manifesto.
Richard Kojonyako joining us from the central region. We'll be bringing you updates on the president's tour in subsequent bulletins. Away from election-related matters, the National Association of Graduate Teachers is calling for a national probe into the leakage of exam papers and the list of examiners for this year's West African School Certificate examinations. The West African Examination Council, in a statement, admits the leakage, indicating the matter has been reported to the Cybercrime Unit of the Police Service. But President of NAGRAT, Angel Kabanu, who indicated the association is convening a meeting meeting over the matter, says there must be a national probe to identify and punish offenders.
This is absolutely very disturbing, and it is compromised even the security of these examiners.
What do you plan to do about this?
As a matter of fact, as a union, tomorrow I'm having a National Executive Committee meeting, and this is going to feature definitely at the National Executive Committee meeting. We are not on the top of my mind. I think that there should be a state investigation into this situation, and the culprits will have to be brought to book.
President of NAGRAT, Enjo Kabonu, there. Now, the Minerals Income Investment Fund has justified its decision to set up the company that will manage Ghana's gold royalties as an offshore company. Former President John Mahama is questioning the basis of the agreement approved by Parliament last Friday.
Honorable Aveji and Co just left Parliament. They had to walk out of Parliament for a reason. Government has 10% in every gold mining concession in this country. That 10% gives royalties to the chiefs and others in the gold mining areas, and it brings money into the government coffers. You alone, you're going to take that gold royalties and going to create a company in what we call a tax haven.
Well, board chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, George Duke, says the establishment of the company in Jersey, UK, is to ensure Ghana benefits from non-payment of taxes and protect future investors.
You obviously want it listed. You want it to get, that international recognition because you're inviting investors, and that is the main purpose. Why Jersey? Jersey because of tax purposes, because you may have some tax incentives here and there that will obviously be beneficial to the state. No investor would want to be exposed, generally.
George Duca is board chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund. Scouting for share-nuts is a tedious and sometimes dangerous chore, but this is the activity of children of school-going age at Boone in the northeast Gonja municipality of the Savannah region, and they've been engaging in this to raise money to cater for their needs. Northern Region correspondent Martina Bugri has been following their journey of survival, and here's her report.
We normally move from tree to tree to collect the share, bring it home and process it. I use it to buy my books, uniform and sandals. It is not easy because of the danger of snake and scorpion, but we have to do it to stay in school.
Baba Amiam, the father of the children, said the children cannot be home and not work. He said even though they are young, the work will strengthen them.
A human being cannot just live without working, so they need to work to make some income to buy their personal belongings. They may be young, but this is the only way you can train them. If you keep saying they are young, you will not benefit from them. When they struggle, and I also struggle, we put it together, then it will solve some problems. Their colleagues travel for Kaya, but they don't.
Kande Fuseni, the mother of the children, said they are poor and unable to buy books and other needs of the children. She said they are not happy allowing their children to go into the bush, but they do not have an option.
Martina Bugri with that report. Now, the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, will hold an extraordinary summit on the socio-political situation in Mali today. The virtual video conference was convened following the military coup d'etat in the Republic of Mali. ECOWAS has strongly condemned the undemocratic change of government as it is against the ECOWAS Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance. The Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government has been mediating in the sociology, political crisis, and has held several mediation and peace missions to Mali. Now, to Arrive Alive, brought to you by Toyota and Bedrock Insurance. Buckle up. Wearing your seatbelt is an essential safety tip. Not only are you more likely to get injured in an accident if you aren't wearing a seatbelt, you can also be fined for failing to do so. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I'm Benes Abubeidulansa. Thanks for your company. That'll be it for radio, but on TV at 10 a.m. you can join me on Joy News as I discuss trending stories and spillover stories from yesterday. Do stay on. The Super Morning Show continues.